In January this year, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum released his 8 Principles of Governance. Included at number 3 was that Dubai is a business capital. Attracting and sustaining foreign direct investment into the city is key to that. The person in charge of managing the investment is Fahad Al Gergawi, CEO of Dubai FDI. In this episode, he tells us how Dubai ranked first globally in the top FDI performers report in 2018. Welcome to Dubai Works, the business podcast about the innovators, the products, the services, and trending topics. Loving Dubai's take on the business stories that matter. My name is Richard Fitzgerald. I'm the founder of Augustus Media, publishers of Lovin Dubai, Lovin Saudi, and Smashy TV. Each week, we'll be interviewing the dynamic business leaders of Dubai. Good afternoon, Fahad.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure to have participated in an important channel you have.
Can you tell us the background to Dubai Investment Development Agency, or Dubai FDI as it's known?
Okay, I think the FDI in Dubai overall is a historical thing. Dubai have been always living on attraction of new businesses, new people, new talent, and this have been the case for the city for many years.
Yeah.
Our mandate is to number one, facilitate investment that comes to Dubai at the same time.
Is that all types of investment? Is that commercial, private, every type of investment?
It's all type of foreign direct investment.
Yeah. So everyone kind of sees the development of the economy here in Dubai, and a lot of the kind of investment the government makes. How important is foreign investment to the overall economy?
Foreign investment is an important tool to develop the economies. Being an attractive city or a destination, you need always to reinvent yourself and continue that development mode. And to be there, you have to be attractive to investors. So this allows us to be always looking at what's next for the city to be attractive to new investors to come and put their investment here.
Okay, so taking the NFR, the new form investment specifically, what sort of things are included there? If a global tech company decides to have an office here other than a neighbouring country, if there's a kind of a merger and acquisition such as the Souk deal or the Cream deal, are those factors included?
There are some of the factors, of course, but is there a clear path for such investment to take place?
So recently we saw reports saying what the GDP will grow this year by. How much do you think of the 2018 FDI investment numbers? I read in a document that you've produced saying that there's, for the first time ever, there's been reached $10 billion USD investment last year. Is that a sign for positivity? Should people be optimistic about the economy this year? And how does that knock-on effect? Or is it more of a medium-long-term payoff?
Sure. The actual number of investment that came to Dubai 2018 is 38.5 billion dirhams, which is equivalent of almost $10.4 billion. But at the same time, it signifies few other things. Everyone knows we are in the downturn economic cycle, which is normal for many cities around the world. And at the same year, we score one of the highest, investment, attraction of foreign direct investment. It tells something to everyone who want to see the real truth about these numbers. That there is an excellent confidence on the city future. And at the same time, investors doesn't look at a year or two. Investment is a long-term cycle where companies will come and exist in certain market and sometimes expand, as we see. Actually, 20% of companies that have invested are part of the existing companies. So this is part of our aftercare program that brought up existing companies to reinvest in the market. This shows confidence, and it is a very complex decision to come and invest in overseas market. So it's not just the factor that we saw, it's the factor that where this destination as a city is going globally, and what sort of initiatives and programs and strategies that we have came across and announced so many times and so many different occasions that hits in different multi-sector that attracted those companies to see what some people even in the city that they don't see. What we're saying here is also the global ranking that shows, this is a global ranking that came from Financial Times, FDI services, and these are tremendous if you look at it. In terms of performance on global cities, Dubai came number one with a 41% growth in a year of 19% slowdown. On
is
global
that ranking based on the
on
growth
city level? Yeah,
yeah.
On growth and city level. That's a performance.
Right.
And then you will get few things got to do also with the number of projects growth. You have a high number of projects. I think we went from 350 to 523 projects.
New projects,
yeah. And that tells also the diversity of the more projects, the more diverse the economy is, and the more opportunities there are. And this shows also the solid fundamentals of the city and what it means for investors to come and invest all these number of projects in such times. Also, we look at a few things that to do with the future industries. 43% of these investments have a medium to high tech component, which is important for us, especially in this time, and it works well with the country's strategy for science, technology, and innovation. At the same time, we have a few other things got to do with being a third city globally in AI investment after Hong Kong, after Shanghai and Singapore. On capital globally, we are ranked number 6 on capital investment into cities around the world. In terms of being this type of city that recognized globally from third party global rankings, it brings significant importance to what is the city overall environment is about.
Yeah, adds to that.
How mature,
stability,
exactly, and how mature it is to attract such future industries today, not tomorrow. And what is it for companies to see what others didn't see in the city? All these questions brings back also the dynamics of the government, the dynamics of the private sector as well, because there is a lot of investment that comes also in a JV sometimes.
Yeah.
And also the attractiveness of the city to grow a new company or a startup from. And this is something that we saw where the last couple of stories of Souk, like Kareem, and maybe some others are on the way, and we know 1 or 2 companies who are put on the map right now.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's an ecosystem that has an added value for startups to relook. And this is where we think there are more in Dubai than what we see as even residents.
So just taking the Kareem story, for example, I think that deal is going to go through early next year maybe, but I'm not sure. But over $3 billion, do you see that as on the positive side, that it shows that a company of that valuation can grow out of somewhere like Media City in 6-7 years? But is there a case of saying, well, could these companies be as big, if not bigger, than Uber? And is that the next story of a kind of a unicorn from this region? Is success an acquisition, or could it be a listing? And can Dubai compete at that level as well for kind of mainstay global companies?
It can go both. It depends on the private sector and how they want to rely on it. In terms of, I think, but for the city level, you need such companies to be attractive, to be acquired, to bring the next unicorns. Because those startups who want to be the unicorns of future would look at, the base there, where that base that I could in the region put my business in and start getting the next story.
Yeah.
At the same time, if we look at, yes, it is important to have the bigger companies that established from here to grow and be even larger, where they will benefit the city. But I think in current situation, we will need more startups attraction. So rather than having one that is successful but not acquired, so did not take on the startups. Currently, we need more startups that will create this story. But again, it's all a decision making that comes from the private sector. No one can tell them. What is good for the city. It's more important for what is good for the business.
Yeah.
And who created the business, I think, and been successful and went into it and knows it all. I think even this company can come up again and start up again with more knowledge how to make the next one. So it's all brings opportunities.
Yeah.
How we look at it.
As a knock-on effect. What are the future goals for foreign direct investment in Dubai? Is it project-based? You mentioned AI and blockchain. Do you see the investment in those areas going to, is there going to be more investment from a FDI point of view? And what else are in the plans?
I will rely on few things. Number one is the 50-year chapter and the 9 pillars of what Dubai is about. And His Highness Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, when he announced this, he didn't announce it out of the liking. This is the vision of the city for years to come. It's not just something we like, it's something that we know what Dubai is about and how it can grow. So being our own or creating our own Silk Road is about logistics, it's about connectivity, it's about trade and investment and tourism and everything around it. And it has a lot of significance, value. And today, if we want to develop, we want to see where we are. What are the government pushing the envelope towards? And it was 100%, announced and absorbed, and people are working on it, and we are seeing the government private sector initiatives are going towards this. But at the same time, it all goes to the planning of where the city should be. And this one was announced. We want to be among the top global cities on the fourth industrial revolution component, and to be ready even before this becoming a trend. So that's why you see a lot of different initiatives, programs, projects, private, government. The government want to be an enabler for this to start. That's why you see a lot of different businesses and initiatives becoming in Emirates Towers, Boulevard, where you see the few different things got to do with the Future Foundation,
the museum,
the museum, the government accelerators, the 2071 area, and all these things, just highlighting where our ambition is and where we want to reach, but also putting a right fundamental foundation for others to come and put what the component of future from now.
Well, that's an excellent, exciting note and positive note to end on. Thank you, Fahad, for your time this afternoon. We appreciate it and looking forward to a lot more to come.
So, pleasure. Thank you.